Good evening and welcome, my friends. I am your host, Stuart Blanchet, and I thank you for joining us for yet another episode of Giles Tenderworth's Monsters in the Dark. Episode 31, Dracula. The first evolution of a vampire predates our written history. It is believed that at some point the vampires had an empire that rivaled that of the Fey Kingdoms in elegance and beauty, in scope and power. At some point, perhaps during the times of upheaval, they ran afoul of the rising deities and began their swift decline. The first vampire of record that we know of is Lamashtu, who was worshipped as a goddess or demon or both in her own right. After that, throughout history, many more have followed. Lord Ruthven, Carmilla Karnstein, Barnabas Collins, Nosferatu, and the most famous of them all, Count Dracula. Dracula was raised as a prince, expected to take the reins of the fledgling vampire courts. He was very well educated, we might say given classical training in the histories, sciences, arts, politics, and warfare. In the early to mid-1400s, Dracula was elevated to one of the last of the vampire courts, the royal household itself, the Dragon Court. There he was expected to preside over the reconsolidation of his people and their territories, but instead got to witness their death throes. According to Lord legend, the vampires were betrayed by a very close acquaintance with the Lord Dracula. A lover or offspring, we are not sure, but they revealed the vampires' weaknesses to the world at large, an act that surviving vampires have been doing their utmost to undermine ever since. A vampire is a creature that drinks the life force of its victims in exchange for life, vitality, and power. They have neither reflection nor shadow, and have taken on nocturnal habits, the better in which to hide. They are faster than Fae, stronger than small giants, and highly intellectual as a species, except when fully controlled by their hunger. Such a beast is mindless, brutal, and often ready to tear prey limb from limb. Count Dracula is of a greater breed than his fellow vampires. He pursues his prey intellectually, preferring seduction over savagery, although he is very capable of both. He understands well the power that might turn religious fervor against him and respects sacred spaces as well as he can. He is, at his core, a survivor, and the pogrom against his species he views as simply evolution clearing house. The vampire scourge spreads little by little, one tainted corpse at a time. There are many methods to prevent your loved one from rising, the oldest of which is to place an obolus within their mouth. But this only deters demons and other spirits and does nothing against the vampire curse. We recommend 3 wooden stakes placed before the next full moon. One in your loved one's mouth, another through their heart, and the last through their stomach. Ash and hawthorn work very well, but the key is to make them all from the same tree, so that they work together to prevent the rising of your loved one's body. Your other option is a ball of needles filled with incense. We recommend a blend of hawthorn, wild rose, and garlic. The needles must be made of iron or steel, and they must have been cleansed with alcohol and fire. The incense should be burning when you place the ball inside the mouth or stomach of your loved one. Then bury them deep and pray, for no one wants to see a loved one suffer or rise from the dead. Fare thee well into the dark. Believe that the best protection you can have is knowledge. Take preventative measures only on the deceased, and if you must cremate, be at hand with a ball of iron needles. Check your mirrors wisely, and only invite a stranger in after they have crossed the threshold themselves. Thank you for joining us this evening. I have been your host, Stuart Blanchet, and this has been an episode of Giles Tenderworth's Monsters in the Dark. We thank you for taking the time to like and subscribe to our channel. And also, please check out our Kickstarter when you have a moment. Until next time, dear watcher, good night.